Okay, welcome back to my Sorare journey. This is episode 27. I've been documenting my entire experience on Sorare for about the 8 or 9 months I've been on the platform. This episode is going to show exactly how much money I've made, exactly how much money I've put in, and show the complete ROI transparency of the platform. I absolutely love Sorare. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a global fantasy football game. They use NFT technology of officially licensed clubs. We have teams like PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Ajax. They're all on the platform, so some of the best teams in the world, you can use those players and basically have a lot of fun and maybe make some money at the same time. So if you are interested in that, my sign up link will be in the description. I do get paid from people using that link and playing the game, putting money into it. So to celebrate that and the success of the channel throughout this year, we're going to be doing 2 giveaways at the end, so stay tuned for them. One will be on Twitter and one will be on YouTube. So thanks a lot for all of that, and let's just get into it. So on screen now, you should be able to see exactly how much I've deposited in red and exactly how much I've taken out in green. 2 things to note here is that, I've only made 1 withdrawal from the platform and it was very small, just to make sure that the withdrawal system actually worked. It wasn't a scam or anything like that. You can never be too certain with these crypto websites or NFTs in general. So, always be careful. And I've included my giveaways. Why have I done that? They're only small. The reason for that is just full transparency. If I go and give away £1,000 through players in my gallery, that decreases the value by £1,000 and it will look like, I've lost that money. So, in order to be fully transparent and give a realistic expectation or idea of what I've done this year or these 9 months, it's what I've included. You'll also see the ETH price revalued and the ETH price at the time. The reason for that is that ETH has risen quite substantially since I've got involved. So that's that opportunity cost of, well, what if you had just held ETH? Or on the flip side, I was only planning on investing, say, £3,500 at the time. It wasn't worth £6,000 then. I didn't know which way ETH would go. So realistically, it's only fair to, include both numbers for whatever you prefer. I actually go with at the time, because if I'm to put £1,000 into something at that time, that's how much I consider it to be worth. I've also included little narratives of, why I made the additional top-ups, if I could remember them. So a few episodes back now in August, you'll see that I went really hard and got Lafont, which I needed some funding for. I made the big move into limited cards. I know not many people believed in them from the start. They thought, supply's too big. I jumped in hard, and one of the, key takeaways from this, why I included the yellow whale at the start, is because that was kind of my goal, to be the yellow whale, to see if it's financially beneficial. Obviously, I thought it would be, because that's why I jumped into them, and we'll see about that. And of course, as soon as Messi got involved, I wanted to be involved with Messi as well, so I've got him. Besides that, we've got some manual adjustments. The reason I've adjusted these up is because they're collectible cards for me. So Ren's Camavinga card, I think there's only about 18 in the limited, so they've got a bit more collectability about them. I wouldn't sell them at the floor price, let's say. Same as the 1 of 1,000. So I've got 1 of 1,000 Toni Kroos and 1 of 1,000 Guindo, a youngster from who's his rookie card for Salzburg. So very minimal adjustments. I basically did what the difference is I paid for them, or in the case of Guindo, I thought you probably overpaid for that on the reflection. So let's just drop that down to about 30 quid or so. And that's where we're sitting right now. Okay, so this is the moment everyone has been waiting for. How much money have I actually made? We'll quickly update the ETH price. So it's currently 3,052 per ETH. So we'll update that here. And then we can take away this little black area and find out the result. So drum roll, please. Bang! Okay, so I have made, my club value is about £12,000 right now, which sounds absolutely ridiculous, leaving me with a net profit of £8,400, 9,000 euros or $11,000, a ROI, return on investment of 2,344%. 234%, in about 8 or 9 months since I've been on the platform. It is absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud of myself. But before we get into all of that, I will give some disclaimers, right? Just because I've done this doesn't mean you will necessarily do this. I was a lot earlier than you were, in a growing platform. You can make a lot of money just from, kind of new users joining, having to buy cards off you in a limited supply. I've put a lot of time into the game. I'm constantly on the website looking for bargains and deals. I'm really involved in the community. So, people send me deals and people help me with loans, little things like this where, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll have the same experience or same financial gain I have. Alongside this doesn't even take into account how much fun I've had on the game. It really improves football for me, almost 10 times now, because I've got something to care about in every game. I can really support, young players that I believe in and follow them all the way up their career. And one big overall arching thing of this is that I have not sold. I have not sold my club. You know, none of this is going back into my bank account. It's all going to stay on there. And the reason for that is, you know, I have this long-term vision for Sorare. I really think it could grow big. And at the same time, if it goes the wrong way, if I lose all my money, my account gets stolen, it gets hacked, you know, anything happens to Sorare, I am in the financial position where I can be absolutely sound and go on with my life. Of course, I'll be upset, but you know, I've got diversified investments in physical assets, stocks, you know, other cryptos. So, you know, I'm happy with where I am right now. And now that all of that's out of the way, £8,500, you know, for someone my age to make that from a game they love is unreal. I am so happy. And obviously this helps doing the giveaway and all the rest of it. So we're clear, none of this money was funded from, you know, any money I've made from the referral system. None of that has actually got involved to this. So don't think, oh, you've only made this money because you're a referral or affiliate or whatever it's called. Nothing like that. Overall, you know, I've been grinding, and yeah, this is where I've got to. So thanks everyone for the support, really. Again, really proud of myself. I don't really know what much more there is to say. So, you know, I've shown throughout the journey kind of how I've made the money, but, you know, one of the key jumps was limited. And for all of the other reasons I've jumped into limited, you know, more affordable. I think it's better to be kind of the bully of the division rather than scrapping for, you know, the tier 2s and tier 3s. I think kind of the ultimate goal is winning rewards, and being able to win rewards, even if there's no new users onboarded, is really crucial and something that people are kind of overlooking. So some of my best performers, Tony Cruz, obviously in my Champion Europe team quite consistently. Just for an example, he's picked up 0.389 worth of cards, which I think is actually more than I paid for him at the start. I can probably find that out here. Yeah, so I bought him for 0.174, it says there. So he's almost doubled his value. Of course, there needs to be 5 players in a team, so, you know, the whole team won't be free, but I've got the rest of his career for this utility. And on the same end, you know, someone like Orlean Tushmani, still not sure how to say that, he's in my under-23s team, and I've got his whole utility for the rest of his career, and he's picked up loads of rewards for 0.258. So that's almost like just them 2 players alone have picked me up almost above half an ETH, which is, you know, as you saw before, about £1,500. So, you know, being consistent, being able to win rewards, you know, it was one of my strategies rather than playing in the rare division. I've spoke about it a lot, and I'll speak about it more on other platforms, or not other platforms, sorry, but, you know, for new users getting involved, everyone seems to jump to the default rare global all-stars, and I think that's brilliant. But, you know, don't overlook limiters. Once you've got your global all-star rare team, don't go and make a second rare team. Don't put more money into it. Hit those 250 points and put all the money you can into limiters, because for me, they're kind of underutilized. If you get a limited pro, they got limited pro division, you get more utility, should go up in value. And if there is any that do go up in value, if the company is successful, the entry point's limited, so they're going to move first. They're currently 10% of their kind of rare value. And to me, a fair value of that would be about 15%. So even a 5% move on the whole market could be absolutely huge on your specific players. Look, no financial expert. This is not, you know, financial advice at the end of the day. It's just kind of how I'm seeing it, and I've been successful. So, you know, I want to be as honest and transparent about what I think will happen in the future. And I think I would pick limiteds over rares. You know, it's not the common trend. A lot of other YouTubers would say pick rares, or if you can afford super rares, of course. But everyone has their own opinion. That's mine, and yeah, that's been my journey so far. I will include my latest reward in case you've missed it, because, you know, I haven't had a chance to post it. Actually, one thing I want to say before we get into it is, you know, one of the best parts about the reveal is live reaction. So when I can, I'll try and include that, and you'll see that here. So let me know your thoughts on that. And under 23s, we finished 22nd. We got a tier 1. Let's hope it's someone good, not from the Asian League, not injured. Come on. Oh, Arnaud Baudard. That is actually really good, I think. As a goalkeeper, you've really got to be happy in the under 23s. I think he's still one of the goalkeepers that kept his position, so I'll double check that now, but I'm very, very pleased with that. So that's the reward there. Really pleased with that overall. You know, probably makes up for the bad reward in the last episode and a little bit more, to be honest. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. It didn't go out to that many people because I uploaded it at a horrible time, but I did put a lot of effort into it. Beyond that, this is the entire gallery now. If you haven't seen it, or if you know, are new to the channel, really pleased with how we're kind of settling in. I'm always chopping and changing it. It's just one of those things. You see a player you like, you get annoyed at a player for a bad week. But overall, I think it's, you know, a gallery I'm happy with, and I think the value representation of them is actually true. I know a lot of people have to adjust up and down based on their kind of Sorare data value, but because I operate in the limited and rare division, which is kind of really liquid, especially for kind of like NFTs at least, I think the value of the cards are pretty much where they should be. You know, probably last 3-day average, except for maybe Jaden Braff, who's out of contract, but you know, really hard to value a player like that. Yeah, so overall pleased with that. And now onto the giveaways. So if you've been watching the channel, you know I really like to give away to you know, people that watch the channel, and that's going to be a running trend throughout this channel going forward. I have an idea on how I'm going to make it fun, a bit more interactive. So keep in the know for that. I'll post it in the next episode basically, because this is going to go on for too long. But you know, the plan is to make it as interactive and give away as much as I can whilst everyone's having a good time for kind of fun events and the rest of it. So this is slightly smaller than the actual giveaway, but to get into it, we are going to be taking out the first man, LaCroix. So if you are a long-term watcher of the channel, you know this guy. He caught a vibe and we caught one with him. So let's just go pick him up for the first giveaway. Might have to cover this a little bit, obviously. But he's going to be given away to someone that, well, what I'll do is I'm giving away 2 players. One for commenting on this video. You know, comment whether you want this player or the next player. It doesn't really matter. Everyone will go to a random draw and you will get whichever one you commented. So the next giveaway will be on Twitter. It will basically be a tweet that I should have linked in the description here. If you just go there, like it, retweet it, get it out to as many people as we can so we can really share the love of Sorare. Hopefully that will be good. So that player that will be up for grab is actually in my gallery already. So I'll just show you him here. It is Luka Jovic. So both of them together, they're probably about similar value. Probably about 80 to 75 pounds, something like that. So 150 pounds or so to give away. I think that's pretty fair, but you know, beyond that, there's going to be a lot more coming to the channel. So overall, I'd call that a pretty successful 8 to 9 months on the platform so far. If you do want to get involved, remember the link will be in the description. Besides that, I'm looking to bring more content to the channel, not just my Sorare journey, so look out for that. Maybe we'll go beyond Sorare, we'll have to see. And just to recap, the giveaway will be open for probably about 2 weeks. So we say you have until 2022 to enter. To enter on YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe and comment below. And then to enter on Twitter, it's just like and retweet. It'd be nice if you followed me as well. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. Good luck to you for the rest of the game weeks. And again, thank you so much for watching. The support I've got on this channel and on Discord, Twitter, it's been unbelievable. So all the best to you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.